Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you or us that haven't been blown to smithereens, welcome to this video. I wonder how you're doing. Today, I would really like to talk to you about risk and our dynamic energy. So I'm going to give this a go of sharing something that I have found very useful in my own life. And I'm going to begin by showing you a couple of my birthday cards. Now, the first one is this, and it's a little tiny girl who's doing a rodeo on a sheep, and my first job used to be shepherdess. And then the other one, which is fantastic, is a doctor talking to a patient saying, "We've decided to keep the hip and replace the rest of you." Now, those two are my favourite cards for very simple reasons, which I want to share with you. Risk has been something that I have had to calculate almost every hour of every single day that I've ever had the privilege of being alive. Because when you're born with a very tough condition, which I was, you are literally having to make it an automatic calculation to do with your energy of what choices are you going to make from one hour to the next, what you can do, knowing that there are lots of things, and sometimes they increase, the things that you can't do. And in a way, none of our lives have to be so extreme. We definitely don't have to have, and I wouldn't want you to have the life that I've had, which has been a bit like doing a rodeo on a sheep, which is why one of my closest friends sent that to me, because I try to have as much fun as possible, even though it's a bit of a rodeo. And equally, as some of you know, I've had so many bolts and metal pieces put in me that probably the doctors in their right mind would sort of scrap everything and start all over again. But nobody has to have those extremes. For life to become consciously something that you are calculating every single day and assessing your risks. So we, in England anyway, we were given, particularly where we lived, I think it was an Amber Alert. So it was advised that we don't go out unless we absolutely had to. And there were situations for many, many people where they had to go out and they had to calculate appropriately what was right for them and their families. And in a way, that's what we're doing all the time, all of us. We don't have to have an Amber Alert in order to get the most out of our lives and out of our own dynamic life force, and therefore edge our way closer to another day of dynamic health. We don't have to have these extreme examples, but we do need to more consciously decide, what are we willing to risk? And then I'm going to say one other little thing. Having relationships with other people on all sorts of different levels, whether it's your local chemist, your butcher, your neighbour, your lover, your husband, your children. Again, in some respects, to have an intimate, real connection, even if it's a superficially real connection, requires a risk. We need to make ourselves vulnerable. Every question you ask another human being actually requires, if you want that kind of connection with someone that is real, which serves your life force, your dynamic energy, the more consciousness that you can put towards it, the richer the connection is. But it's a risk. And I know many, many people who come to work with me, and part of the reasons why their life force is stuck is because they have stopped utilizing the muscle, the energetic muscle of learning how to take risks. and being willing to fall flat on your face. So I'm just going to end with this. This little person who's having enormous fun doing a rodeo on a sheep, she knows how to thrive and how to just get on and live. And she's relatively close to the ground, so if she falls, hopefully it won't be a disaster, which is why the adults around her have let her do it. But the point is that we do all fall all the time. And what I'm hoping for you listening to this video is that you get something out of it and you ask yourselves, are you willing to become more conscious of the risks that life itself does require of us? Take huge care. I hope that makes sense. Lots of love to you.